Hello, thank you for taking a moment to watch this training, and on this particular training we are going to continue going through our Zapier training module, continue going through the Zapier training where we're taking data that's being generated outside of PhoneBurner, getting it into PhoneBurner, calls that are happening in PhoneBurner, we're getting that information out of PhoneBurner into your external CRM. We have been logging that information in our Google Doc. And we're actually working through the process of taking any appointments, any appointments that are generated by our appointment setting team in PhoneBurner into our Google Doc so our QA team can review and approve or deny each one of those. And we actually just wrapped up the training on what to do, how to get those approvals updated back in PhoneBurner. But now let's talk about the decline. So if somebody does not meet the threshold, does not actually qualify as an appointment, so it needs to be sent back to them. So the first thing we need to do is we need to close out of this update contact based off the approval. Let's get back to our Zap where we got path B, and let's go ahead and edit this. Let's set the name to declined. And let's go ahead and continue. And what are the rules to set up this? We are looking at our QA review field in our Google Doc. We're looking for an exact match of, let's go back here, and we need denied, D-E-N-I-E-D. We're looking for an exact match of denied. And we're going to go ahead and hit continue. And this is what I wanted to show you here. As you're going through and setting this up, if you don't have a sample that matches, you're going to be warned that, hey, this path would not continue based off the sample data that we have. So if we look at our sample data for that particular field currently has a value of approved. So we could continue going on as is, just knowing that we don't have sample data that matches. So it's going to be tough for us to actually test this at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some more sample data over here that we can work with. So bear with me. I'm going to go to PhoneBurner. However, in the past, I've actually been calling contacts from the admin account. This time, I actually want to log into my team member's account, because as we go through the rest of their training, there are some other aspects to this I want to be able to point out. And so we're actually going to do this test from the user account, one of our team members' accounts. So I've actually got all of this data flowing into what's called a blind pull lead stream. So this team member or all of our team members could actually dial through this data super quick, super fast without me having to kind of decide who gets what lead. The data is just available for the team to call. Of course, there's lots of training on that. I'm not going to train you on lead streams in this particular training. So let's go ahead and continue, get connected. And we're going to call. That should bring up Gary Sample. He's our only sample lead that's still available. And we're going to say we call Gary. We get him on the phone. We have a great conversation with Gary. We add our notes, do whatever we need to do here, and we click the Set Appointment button. Now that should send Gary's information to our Zap. Now we have not turned on any of these Zaps yet, so we're going to have to go back and make sure he gets logged in our sheet. So we're going to go ahead and exit out of this for right now. We're going to go back to our appointment Zap. Actually, let's go through and test a few things. Let's go to our all PhoneBurner calls. Let's make sure he gets logged there. Let's check our catch hook here. We should be able to bring him in as a new example or sample. There he is. Let's go ahead and go down here to continue. We're just going to go through each of these steps. Make sure that he's showing up. Go here to our all calls. There's Gary. And we might as well just make sure that everything here is working. There it is. Continue. There we go. So we know that everything worked the way it was supposed to there. Now we also need to go to our appointments Zap. We need to make sure that everything went through there. So let's go to our appointment Zap. And so we can see not only did Gary hit our all-call Zap, he did hit our appointment Zap. We've got his information in here. So we're going to go ahead and continue. Make sure he gets logged in the Google spreadsheet. Go to our spreadsheet here, appointments. There he is. He's been logged. Currently hasn't been updated in the QA review section. So we're done with this one. And now we're ready to go into our QA updates. But of course, he hasn't been updated yet. So let's jump back over to the Google Sheet and let's make some notes. We're going to add some notes from the QA team, and we're going to update the QA review to denied. So we've now updated that record here in our CRM/Google Sheet. Let's go back to our QA, go to our trigger step, because we need to test this trigger. We need to look for this update. And there it is, Heather caller. Heather's the one that called this agent or this contact. Gary samples his details. So you're going to see there's some differences here, and those become important as you're logging information in our Google spreadsheet. So let's go ahead and continue. And now we need to go down our decline path. So let's edit this one. Rules and setup, click continue. And you can see now the path would have continued. And so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video for right now. I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible so that you don't get overloaded with too much information in any one particular video. But make sure you tune in to our next video where we're going to continue down the action path. I've got a lot of great stuff that I want to talk to you about as we update this record back in PhoneBurner. So thanks again and happy dialing.